Okay, let's dive right in. Imagine the sheer intense energy of a massive cinematic chant hitting you right from the very first second. You hear a booming voice, heavy percussion, and these ancient syllables that literally seem to vibrate right through the floorboards. It's an incredible kind of raw power, isn't it? Well, we are going to decode the deep mysteries hidden within the exact words of this phenomenal opening chant. Because you see, this isn't just about listening to music, it's about understanding the actual architecture of an ancient invocation.
Welcome to this explainer. If you love discovering how complex, emotional stories are built through sound and language, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down these incredibly powerful yet surprisingly brief lyrics from our source material, and we'll see exactly how just a few carefully chosen phrases can construct an entire mythological universe right in our minds. All right, Section 1, the divine form. Any great invocation starts by giving us a strong visual. Before you can truly feel the energy of the entity being praised, you've got to be able to see it in your mind's eye, right? Translated, we hear the invocation of the Varaha Rupam, the divine boar form. Notice the hypnotic, repetitive nature of these opening lines. The chant just hits you with it twice in a row. This isn't just a casual mention, it's a forceful, rhythmic hammering that firmly establishes this awe-inspiring divine form right at the absolute forefront of your consciousness. That repetition essentially forces you to focus entirely on the subject. But then, right when you are bracing yourself for pure, unbridled intensity, the chant throws a complete curveball. The phrase para smita vedanam represents a sudden, almost jarring introduction of gentleness, embedded right in the dead center of this intense, rhythmic chanting. It completely changes the texture of the visual we're building. What's really fascinating here is the exact translation. Smita vadanam literally means smiling face. Think about the psychological impact of that for a second. We've just summoned this towering, divine, beast-like form, but we are explicitly told it has a smiling face. This specific vocabulary adds an unexpected layer of benevolence, warmth, and calm to the deity's imagery. It essentially tells the listener, yes, this entity is unimaginably powerful, but it's also deeply kind to those who seek it.
Moving on to Section 2, Armor and Fierce Attributes.
So we've established the calm, but now the lyrics shift the energy, becoming way more driving. Read this powerful line with me. Vajradanta, Dara Raksha Kavacham. Even if you're just listening to the phonetic English equivalents, the harsh V's, J's, D's, and T's, you can physically feel those sharp, percussive sounds. The strong consonants completely alter the emotional landscape of the song. It suddenly goes from a soft smile to the sound of clashing weapons and unyielding strength. Let's break down the first part of that phrase. Vajradanta translates to diamond or fierce teeth, and Vajra implies something truly unbreakable. So think less expensive piece of jewelry and more indestructible cosmic thunderbolt. It's a raw, unyielding force. We're talking about power that goes way beyond normal physical strength. It's indestructible cosmic energy. And this brilliantly illustrates the absolute genius of the text. On one hand, you have the warmly smiling face, and right alongside it, the fierce diamond teeth. It's an awe-inspiring juxtaposition of absolute gentleness and terrifying ferocity existing within the exact same entity. To the pure at heart, it offers a warm, smiling face, but to negative forces, it bears indestructible cosmic teeth. So, the crucial question is, why does this duality exist in the first place? Well, the next part of the lyric gives us the answer, Raksha Kavacham, which translates to a shield of protection. Hold on this concept for a second. The fierce, terrifying form, the diamond teeth, the imposing presence, it doesn't exist just for the sake of violence. It exists purposefully as an impenetrable armor, a protective shield for the devotee. The terror is purely defensive. Which brings us to Section 3, the Shiva connection. We now understand the form and its purpose, but where exactly does all this immense power come from? The text gracefully transitions into a mythological lineage to uncover the origin story of the powerful entity being praised, Shiva Sambhuta. As the chant rolls forward, it drops a massive clue about the absolute cosmic level of the energy we are dealing with here. That term, Shiva Sambhuta, translates directly to born of Shiva. This is incredibly significant. By using this phrase, the lyrics anchor this fierce, protective boar form directly back to Shiva, the ultimate force of transformation and the destruction of evil in the pantheon. It immediately injects the song with profound spiritual weight. It tells the listener that this protective armor isn't just physically strong, it's backed by the ultimate cosmic authority.
And finally, Section 4, the act of devotion.
Now the lyrics masterfully pivot. They transition away from the physical description of the deity and turn the camera, so to speak, directly onto the worshiper. Look at the phrase, mana samaprita. These words describe a deeply satisfied, utterly fulfilled mind. Because the devotee knows they are protected by this indestructible, yet warmly smiling divine armor, their entire internal state changes. They engage in continuous, reverent adoration. The tension of the outside world just melts away, leaving only a profoundly satisfied mind, perfectly focused on the divine.
So let's pull all these threads together. We've built an incredibly complex, dual-natured image just by paying close attention to these few lines. We have the majestic Varaha form, complete with that disarming, benevolent, smiling face, but that's contrasted immediately by the fierce, indestructible diamond teeth. We understand that this terrifying aspect acts purely as a protective armor, and to top it all off, it carries the ultimate pedigree, being born of Shiva. It really is a masterclass in concise, layered storytelling.
And then comes the ultimate release. At the very end of the source text, notice how the lyrics completely devolve. We leave behind the complex grammatical descriptions and the mythological lineage, and the text just breaks down into raw, primal syllables. Da, he, vi, va, wa. It represents a massive surge of pure energy that transcends standard language altogether. When the mind is that satisfied and the presence is that overwhelming, words fail and only raw vibration remains.
I want to leave you with a final, thought-provoking question. How does understanding this specific contrast, a warmly smiling face paired with indestructible, fierce teeth, change the way you actually feel the power of this music? Next time you hear a massive cinematic chant like this, I urge you to experience it with this entirely new linguistic and emotional framework. Because the energy isn't just in the volume, it's in the brilliant, carefully structured duality of the words. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the incredible depth hidden right in plain sight.